incredible Elana Meyer. Let's take a moment for this, and let's just acknowledge a legend of all the legends of running in this country. Elana, first and foremost, welcome. First and foremost, happy birthday, okay, for yesterday. I hope you had an amazing day. You don't look a day over 21, and you're still running through the mountains of Stellenbosch. How was your birthday?
I had a lovely birthday, turning 55 on the 10th of October.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
So, and thanks to, I think, my running, I still have a lot of energy. So, so I had a great birthday, great celebration, and now we're finally in marathon week.
Can you believe it? And all the training everyone's been doing. It's so nice to see all the stories coming out from everyone and how we're gaining momentum in the community. We've done over 30,000 kilometers of the 100,000 kilometers we challenge the community to, which is insane already. It's crazy to see everyone and how much they can actually do when they want to do it. And all those little bit of extra walks, runs, everything adds up. But it's amazing to see what we can do collectively. I mean, 30,000 kilometers, a lot already, So I'm excited to see where we go with this. How receptive have the whole Jeff community been with you at the moment? And are you impressed with what they've done so far?
That's unbelievable. I think, if you look how far you go in 30,000 kilometers, and that's what the Jeff community has done so far, and we're not even, in the final stages. I think when you get the bell and, there's a last lap, then everybody's going to just jump up and, run as much as they can. So fantastic to be part of a community that, that take up the challenge to run and to run, in support of others. So, fantastic journey so far. And then, we on our way to Marathon Day, starting to taper, resting more and looking forward to run 42 kilometers with you.
Yeah, 100%. And I hope with all my injuries, I'm able to get up and running. And I'm the classic case of I suppose, of someone who I'm struggling with my L4, L5 disc at the moment, because I'm the classic case of someone who has been doing too much of too many different things to try and please everyone else except pleasing my body, which is a problem, and it's something that I know, but I just sometimes you get like that Superman syndrome where you feel like you can do anything. But first and foremost, today, what we want to talk about is post the run. I think it's an important thing that people never don't think about. That they finish the race, they go out, they drink a couple of beers or glasses of wine, and they forget about the recovery process. And I think it's important that people understand the recovery process. And it would be nice to dive into your head what you used to do back in your racing days, or what you do now after you've done a big load, and sort of establish like what do you do. And I think the classic case is what people do is either Epsom salts bath. From that perspective, definitely taking lots of magnesium to help with that fatigue syndromes. Can you talk us through what your recovery process is post-run, or what you've done in the past, which has assisted everyone? And before we talk about that, I mean, our partners down at Cipla have got an incredible website called nopain.co.za, which we'll bring up on the screen now, which helps you, direct you in sort of different perspectives of where to go and where you are experiencing different pain and what you can take to assist. But everyone's got their own sort of recovery process. What has always been your recovery process?
So I think definitely I will start with, that was then, when I was a professional athlete, running, for a job, traveling the world, always had a next race coming up, and then I'll bring you into, recovering now. I think, 20, 30 years ago when I was like racing, on the world stages, recovery was absolutely, just so important. So the moment you finish the race, you're almost starting to think about, how can I get ready as soon as possible for my next attempt, so the ice baths, really important, taking, some good protein shakes afterwards, as soon as possible, basically running through the line, obviously also as a pro athlete having to, go to doping control, and But as soon as you out of that, to start refueling and make sure, your recovery starts as soon as possible. Getting into an ice bath, very uncomfortable. Certainly not something, I necessarily do for the fun now. But, back then it was just so crucial, getting back into, into ice water, making sure your muscles recover as soon as possible. Now I'll maybe jump into the sea, the ocean, and just get some cold water over my legs. But when I was racing, that was one of the things I always did, was getting into an ice bath or ice tub, and make sure I recover. So back to now, I think I try and do things that's a little bit more enjoyable. Like I said, I'll jump into a pool, maybe jump into the ocean, but still get your legs into some cold water. It really helps with recovery. And and a little bit with that, like sore legs, after you've run a marathon, it makes the going downstairs a little bit more tolerable. And then also, back then I wouldn't necessarily have taken a Savannah after the run. Now I do get my carbs in, through a glass of wine. But it certainly is important, what you do afterwards.
Yeah, 100%. And like not only for running, I think it's how things have evolved over the last couple of years with regards to processes, getting yourself back up and running. And that's why it's important to understand. We do have a training process which we're doing on this challenge now. It's like educating people to have a plan, have a process, so you can recover quickly post the run. We don't want people to do runs or get to the end of a stage, do a big challenge, and then all of a sudden they can't walk or do anything for like a week afterwards, or they injure themselves. It's all about having a plan, preparing properly, executing, and then getting back on the road as quickly as possible. And we're so lucky these days to have access to all this knowledge, such as going, like this website, go nopain.com, .co.za, from Cipla, where you can take sort of supplementation, which is like natural stuff, such as your mag up, which is good for magnesium and getting magnesium back into your system to aid with your recovery, aid with your fatigue, etc. And get going up and running, because you don't want to be stuffed afterwards. That's the worst thing, is like, as you said, when you see everyone hobbling down the stairs and not being able to sort of execute on that process. And we've all done that, and we've all been there. And I think, like my learning curve is over the last couple of days, I was feeling so good in my running. And I remember telling you, I've done my run, I've done my long run, I made it through. And now I've done, like too much filming on top of that. So basically I've done my work, but I've compounded on top of that. And what that's done is actually stuffed my body up. And my back has just gone, hey, foot suck, that's too much now. That is too much, and it breaks somewhere. And that's what we try and coach people through all our programs. It's important to have a plan. You've known that for years. Like your preparation phase is so important. Can you talk us through that preparation phase of having a plan? Because I always say to everyone in this community, have a plan, and they always go, yes, Johno, yes, Johno, yes, Johno, and then all of a sudden they break, and I go, I told you so. It's important, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think so having the plan is the one thing, but then also listening to your body. I think, and I see it over and over and over again, like the last 10 days, you've actually done all your training, and all of a sudden the body packs up. So it really is, you've got this plan, but then you really have to listen to your body. And often it is that, it's piling up. But in the process, you really have to make sure you recover in between. And that's the mistake that I think most, especially novices, make. You feel so good, and you just, pile in week after week after week. And often, when you get to the 10 days before the marathon, then you've just accumulated, fatigue, the training. So the process and listening to your body and recovering, during the weeks of building up, is really crucial. So recovery is key.
100%. And you've just spoken to the gospel to me, and I'm actually just so annoyed with myself, because I was prepared for this, and I felt good, and exactly what happened 10 days before, I've done too much, and I've buggered my back up. You know what I mean? So the test will reveal that. But it's like the gospel's here and we're listening to it, and it's just amazing. And like, it's so important you recover. It's so important you have your rest days. Take some time off. Let your body recover. Let it rejuvenate. But most importantly, have the process in place which sets you up for success and to recover and carry on going forward. Elana, this has been so informative. Please, guys, if you have any queries about anything, please go to www.nopain.co.za. It is such an incredible site where you can pinpoint all the areas of where things can help you. This is what we are educating everyone, and this is exactly what Elana is doing with her NGO at EnduraCAD. You're educating these girls on the process of running, how to run, the process behind it, how to become successful. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, what you guys are educating everyone at EnduraCAD on?
Yes, absolutely. I think, like you said, knowledge is key. I think, if you want to, achieve your best, if it's in sport or in life or in your work or in school, it is about, getting the knowledge to get there. And, the same, we are trying to educate young women, through sport, to achieve, and achieve their best in their sport, but also to use the process and the learning so that you can apply it to life. I think, running has been the greatest teacher in my life. And, everything that I've learned through running, are really the things that, I could also apply in life and in, in my job to be successful. So, so we are trying to educate girls, using the sport as a platform. And then obviously also identify really talented athletes, to represent all of us, go to the Olympics, but ultimately, running, the running platform is such an incredible platform that's a key, to unlock opportunities, so we want as many girls on the program to use athletics to achieve their best and to become the best version of who they can be.
100%. It's such an awesome cause. And guys, you have the opportunity to go now and donate. It's on the Jeff web app. Go straight through, donate. Let's make it happen. Let's get through this marathon this week. And then to the end of the month. Remember, it doesn't stop this week. We've got right to the end of the month to hit 100,000 and keep on donating. If you are a big corporate, go and dig deep into your pockets and go give back to this incredible cause, which is EnduraCAD and Miles for Smiles, these kids with the cleft lip. And let's help them out, man. Let's help them smile. Let's help these girls get a better future. Let's educate them, and let's just work together. It's going to be awesome. Guys, it's marathon week here. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let's make this happen. Remember, get into your mag up, take it, help it beat your fatigue, and get your magnesium in, you legends. Go to www.nopain. Let's bring up that banner quickly so everyone can see it. And educate yourself how you can help yourself. That's the most important thing. Elana, thank you, my darling. You are amazing. You are such an inspiration to us, and thank you for being part of our community. People just adore you, and they are so inspired by you, and that's what we do. You're inspiring so many people around the country, around the world, and I'm so grateful to have you with us. Not only that, you're an incredible human being. So, guys, the incredible Elana Meyer, thank you so much for your time, Elana. You are the best. And let's do this week, and let's start raising a lot of money, man. It's going to be awesome.
Thanks so much, Johno. You the rock star.
Yeah, man. Guys, see you at the next one. Cheerio. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.